Sky Squad, we are back in the building and we got to talk about some quick news about this arrest of Apollo Nida. Y'all, this is given a case of the mess, okay? It's almost kind of giving me Kim Zolciak and Croy Bierman tease, but you guys be the judge of it. Now, some of you guys may have already heard about this. I did not because, listen, I ain't know. And I don't really know what's going on with Apollo like that these days outside of his relationship with the lady. Is it Shireen, Sharianne, Shireen, Shireen, Sydney and Shireen? I don't know. What I do know is that they participated in MTV's Couples Retreat Season 3. And if you read her bio, she also appeared on The Real Housewives of Atlanta and Say Yes to the Dress. You guys remember that? Let's get into the tea. So according to Us Weekly, I know how they always attach Phaedra's name to him. I guess that's kind of accurate because, I mean, that is her ex, and he did appear on the Married to Medicine reunion just earlier this year. But it says Phaedra Park's ex-husband, Apollo Nida, arrested for assault. Now, who was the alleged victim? Okay. Apparently, he was arrested for assault after his wife called the cops on him. Now, the story is dated today, right? From In Touch Weekly, and they label it as an exclusive. So I don't know if this was already out there because according to the court documents obtained by In Touch, she called the police on Apollo on March the 11th. So all of this happened earlier this year, and it is just kind of coming out, right? So apparently the police report said that Shireen, listed as Shireen Copes, told officers that she had just came home from a bar with friends and had 3 alcoholic drinks. Now, she said they started to have a verbal argument about how they were both cheating on each other. See how I was saying earlier how this is giving some type of Kim and Croy vibes? You know what I'm saying? Y'all, I mean, like, what's really going on? Now, here's the thing. Nobody's marriage is perfect. You know what I'm saying? People, if you're going to be with somebody for years and years and years and years and years and years, you're likely to have some type of issue at some point or another, be it financial, be it, something like this. I don't know, but if y'all both cheating on each other, I mean, do y'all got an agreement or something like that? You know what I'm saying? You just never know in these situations, but it sounded like maybe they don't have an agreement, or either it's an agreement gone wrong. I don't know. Let me put the alleged badge up here because I have no idea what's going on in these people's relationship other than the fact that there was an arrest. Okay. So let's dive further into the details of it. All right. Now, she said that during the argument, Apollo showed her a video of her kissing another man. And I'm thinking to myself, now, how did he get this video? Did he have somebody following her? Or is she just reckless and careless? Was the video in the house? Do they got the cameras in the house? How did he obtain this video of her kissing another man? Was she out in public? I mean, was she not smart enough to hide it in private? I mean, I got so many questions. Anyway, the report then says that Apollo pulled her by the hair and pushed by against a refrigerator. I'm reading verbatim from the article. So if the language is off, it's not me, it's the article. Anyway, so there was some pulling of hair and then pushing, I'm assuming, against the refrigerator. She then also said that the two proceeded to get into a scuffle. She said she ran outside and called for help. Then she says she went back inside to get her phone and Apollo had left. All right. Now, the police said she showed them surveillance video of the verbal altercation. But apparently, they said that it did not show the physical altercation. Apollo showed up to the home and spoke to the officers. He claimed that while they were arguing that he tried to take her phone from her. Y'all, why is it that whenever we hear about these situations of some type of seemingly domestic dispute, does it always seem like one of the other is trying to take the phone from each other? It's like, I mean, it doesn't that always seem like that's the problem? Like that's the issue. Like you try one somebody trying to get somebody else's phone. At least maybe I'm thinking a little bit too much about Kim and Croy, right? Because every time they seemed to call the police, it seemed like something was going on with somebody's phone or the closet or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, shall we proceed? Yes, indeed. Okay. Um, while trying to take her phone, he said that she balled up onto the ground to protect her phone, and Apollo said that he took her phone. So I guess balling up on the ground don't really stop somebody from being able to get the phone. So clearly there was a struggle, right? He said that she ran outside to call for help, but he came outside to give her back the phone. Well, in my mind, I'm like, is she calling out for help? Is she screaming like help, help, help in the neighborhood? You know what I'm saying? Or is she got another phone? Anyway, he says that he gave her back the phone. I'm like, why you give her back the phone? Unless you check the phone and to see what you could see, and then you decided to give it back when she was outside making a ruckus. I don't know. I'm just painting a mental picture of how I'm imagining in this situation to go. Then officers said that Shireen declined medical attention at the scene. Okay, now this story is going to get more interesting as we go along, so stay tapped into it. Okay, the report noted that she did not have any marks or bruises that showed she was in a physical altercation. So then Apollo was placed into custody and charged with domestic and simple assault. Right. So he was then transported to the local jail and processed. The jail records obtained by InTouch show that Apollo posted a $3,000 bond and was released hours after being booked, right? Okay. So she didn't have any marks or bruises that showed she was in a physical altercation. And unfortunately, it sounds like the altercation was not caught on the camera, only the verbal end of the altercation. So does that mean that the physical part of it happened in an area that was off camera? Anyway, apparently last month, prosecutors charged Apollo with one misdemeanor count of simple battery, family violence, and a hearing took place last month, but the court records do not indicate if Apollo entered a plea or has hired an attorney. The charging document read, I, Keith E. Gamage, Solicitor General for the County of Fulton, State of Georgia, in the name and on behalf of the citizens of Georgia, do hereby charge and accuse Apollo Edward Nida with the offense of simple battery, family v. A misdemeanor for that, said accused in the county of Fulton, state of Georgia, on or about March the 11th, 2024, did intentionally make contact of an insulting and provoking nature with the person of Shireen Copes, who is the present spouse of the accused, by pulling her hair and pushing her. Now, here's where things get interesting. It's not really interesting, maybe, because I guess if InTouch found this documentation in some way, shape, or form, they may have reached out to her. So it may not have been that she reached out to them. It may have been that they reached out to her for a comment before they ran with the story, which is common, right? So she tells them it was a huge blowout between a married couple that has brought us much closer since then. We have worked through our issues and have been going to couples therapy. The end. Okay. Now, last year, Apollo asked the court to terminate his probation in his federal criminal case early, because you guys know that he was sentenced to 8 years in prison for bank fraud and identity theft in 2014. So that is the situation that is going on with the two of them. If she says that it's brought them closer, then you know what? If you like it, I love it. I try not to judge people in these relationships, unless you call in the cops like Kim and Croy ad nauseum, allegedly. Because at that point, you have started to become you're taking up resources that other people could possibly need, okay, for these frivolous fights that y'all be having. This is an interesting situation, mostly because, I don't know what the ramifications are for somebody who has, been to prison and then they have a domestic dispute. Maybe somebody in the chatterization could answer those questions. But it's interesting to me to note that this is happening and he has, you know, a past. I wonder if this impacts him in any way, shape, or form moving forward in the future. Let me know what you guys think. I'm sure we won't be hearing anything from Phaedra about this on either of the shows that she's on, because she really doesn't give that much information about what is going on in her actual life. So who knows? Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. I had to bring you this. I know we had just dropped a video, but I was like, let me go ahead and get this in while I'm still here at the desk, okay, before I go back to finishing this course. So with that being said, make sure you guys keep it locked onto the channel. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And of course, I will catch you in the next video.